So today, we're not going to talk about feeling good or finding some magic spark of motivation. Nope. We're digging into something way harder, and honestly, way more reliable. The raw, unfiltered power of discipline. And to do that, we're going to unpack the story of, well, one of the toughest human beings on the planet, David Goggins. Let's dive in.
Okay, picture this. You've been there, right? The alarm blares, it's dark, it's way too early, and that little voice in your head, it pipes up, starts negotiating right away. Come on, just 5 more minutes. You earned a rest. You can just do it tomorrow. It's a battle that plays out in bedrooms all over the world every single morning.
So really, what is it that gets you out of bed? Is it some fleeting feeling of motivation that you hope shows up, or is it something deeper, something that isn't up for debate? Seriously, the answer to that question can change your entire life. To even begin to understand the man David Goggins is today, you have to see where he came from. And I gotta tell you, it wasn't a place of strength or opportunity. It was the absolute opposite. I mean, it's almost impossible to overstate how stacked the deck was against this guy. We're not talking about one bad thing here. It was a constant, daily barrage of just awful. A childhood filled with trauma, a school life where he was so crippled by learning disabilities that teachers just wrote him off. For most people, this wouldn't be a starting line. This would be the end.
And this is what that life led to. By his early 20s, he was pushing 300 pounds, working a dead-end job spraying for cockroaches with zero, and I mean zero, discipline. He was just lost.
And this right here is the heart of the battle. The weight? That was just a symptom. The real problem, the real sickness, was in his mind. He was completely defeated, and the voice that kept him down, his worst enemy, was living right between his own ears.
But then, something shifted. A single moment that just sliced through all the excuses, all the self-pity, and forced him to look at the cold, hard truth.
He's watching a documentary on TV about the Navy SEALs. And on the screen, he sees these men who are just forged from steel, unbreakable mindset, elite-level discipline. And then, he takes a hard look at himself. The difference couldn't have been more shocking, more painful.
And this is where everything changes. See, instead of running away from that awful, uncomfortable truth, he ran towards it. He owned it. He saw this massive, gaping chasm between the man he was and the man he knew he could be. And in that one moment of brutal honesty, he made a choice. It was simple: change or stay broken forever.
So, the big question is, how on earth did he do it? He didn't sit around waiting for inspiration to strike. He didn't search for a magic shortcut. He started building, one painful brick at a time, what you could call his discipline blueprint.
Okay, this was rule number 1, the absolute bedrock of his entire transformation. He realized that the weak voice in his head, the one that always wants comfort, the one that wants to take the easy road, you can't reason with it. You can't debate it. You just have to shut it down. End of discussion.
You know that voice, right? We all do. His mind would scream at him, just rest. Come on, you deserve a break. Just do it tomorrow. And his answer, every single time, was a flat, non-negotiable no. He was building a new standard for himself, a standard that had nothing to do with how he felt.
Now this next part is one of his most famous tools. And honestly, it's just brilliant in how simple and, well, brutal it is. He created a system where it was literally impossible to lie to himself anymore. No more hiding, no more excuses.
And this was the whole idea driving that mirror. This is radical self-reliance at its core. He finally understood that if things were going to change, it was up to him, and only him. The cavalry wasn't on its way. He had to be his own cavalry.
I mean, he would literally take sticky notes, write down his biggest flaws, you are lazy, you are weak, you quit on everything, and plaster them all over his mirror. So every morning, he had to look himself in the eye and face the person he was right then. He owned every single one of his flaws so he could start destroying them.
So, what does all this add up to? It leads us to the central philosophy of the entire Goggins mindset. It's this powerful idea that what we should be chasing, it isn't motivation. It's something else entirely.
Let's break this down, because this is the key. Motivation? It's a feeling. It's a chemical rush. It's awesome when it's there, but it's temporary. It comes and goes with your mood. It's totally unreliable. But discipline? That's a system. It's permanent. Why? Because it's not based on how you feel. It's based on the standards you set for yourself.
So what are we really talking about when we say discipline? It's simple. It's doing the thing you hate to do like you love it.
It's getting the work done on the days you feel weak, tired, and broken. And maybe most importantly, it's pushing forward when nobody's watching, when there's no trophy, no applause, just you and the work. That is where you grow.
Okay, let's be real for a second here. You don't have to become David Goggins. You don't need to run ultramarathons on broken feet. The Goggins way is, well, it's extreme. But the principle behind it, that's universal. You have to be disciplined if you want to achieve anything that truly matters.
So where do you even begin with this stuff? You start small, incredibly small. Wake up 10 minutes earlier. Do 5 push-ups. Clean your desk. But here's the secret sauce. It's step 2. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Every time you say you're going to do something and you actually do it, you're not just getting a task done. You're building evidence. You're proving to yourself that you are in control.
And this, right here, is what it all boils down to. Every single choice matters. Hitting that snooze button, skipping that workout. It seems small, but what you're really doing is teaching your mind that it's okay to quit. You're training it to be weak. But every time you push through, even on the smallest thing, you do the opposite. You forge mental toughness. You get stronger.
So in the end, this isn't really about David Goggins, is it? It's about you. Tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off, when you're faced with that choice between what is easy and what is hard, what are you going to choose? Comfort or discipline?